Well, the University of South Dakota men's basketball program has a new head coach. His name is Craig Smith, and he joins us now. Craig, first of all, welcome to South Dakota.
Thank you, Jay. It's great to be here.
Just start off with your background a little bit. Obviously, a lot of people are familiar with the name Craig Smith in this area because of your ties to the state of North Dakota, the Dakotas, and South Dakota with your relationship with Tim Miles. But just give us a little bit about what you've been through in your past that's brought you to this point.
Well, it's been an exciting career up to this point. Been in the profession for 18 years now. Started when I was 22 years old and got my start with Coach Miles at Mayville State University, and have been fortunate enough to work with him for 11 years on 4 different occasions, and just think the world of him as a person and obviously as a coach. And made a lot of stops from the NEI level to the Division II level at North Dakota State. Been a successful head coach at Mayville State. My last year there, we played in the national championship game. And then was fortunate to make the move from an NEI school to Colorado State in the Mountain West. Was an assistant there for 5 years. In a lot of ways, we took over an expansion franchise. We only returned 2 players, didn't win a game in our conference our first year. And in our 5th year there, in our last, we played in the NCAA tournament. And then made the move to Nebraska, and what an amazing experience being at the Big Ten level, the best league in the country. And to be able to flip that program around in 2 years and have a major footprint in terms of recruiting and the day-to-day operations was a tremendous experience.
What made this job so attractive and the right fit for you?
Well, it's always been a place I could see myself being a head coach at. This is a great place. What a great tradition. They seem to really back it, and it was just a place that I've always felt like I would enjoy being at and really have a lot of success. And so now going into the Division I era, it's a new era. The leadership of David Herbster, I feel really good about him and what he brings to the table. I love his vision. I feel like we're aligned in where we want the program to go. And so it was really a simple decision for me to go all in.
Back to Tim Miles a little bit. You've been with him, obviously, you talked 11 years. In that experience and with all the success that you guys have had, what's the most valuable thing that you've taken from your time with him that's going to carry over here?
Well, there's a lot of things, but without a question, first and foremost, and remember, he was the first guy I worked with when I was 22 years old and had a full head of wavy long hair. But it's always been about the people. You got to surround yourself with great people. So whether that's your president, your athletic director, the guys in your program, we recruit people first. And so our philosophy is we want to recruit the best players from the best teams that are the best people. We want men of character, not characters. Mm-hmm. And so you got to have the athleticism. We want to have guys that are going to be academically accountable, socially responsible, and guys that are going to be able to compete at the national level. We're going to recruit guys that believe that we're going to win in the Summit League on a year-to-year basis, on an annual basis. And if they're not here to do that, then they're in the wrong locker room. They're going to need to find another place to go. So he's given me so many things. He's such a great mentor. He's taught me how to be a professional. And then at the end of the day, he's always believed in me. And you can't speak enough volumes when somebody believes in you. You're going to go the extra mile for that guy.
You mentioned, guys of character, and it seems like a lot of the guys that are here are that, just from my experience with them. And the cupboard's not exactly bare. You've got a lot of returning talent. You're walking into a pretty good situation that featured a lot of sophomores this year that are among the best players on the team. So just talk about the guys that you're inheriting and where you hope to take them from here.
Well, collectively, I think there is some talent without a question on our roster. And talking to Dave Williams and of course David Herbster, trying to get more background on each of the guys. I feel good about where we're at. Certainly we got to add some pieces of the puzzle. We have good players, we just need more of them. The number one thing we need to do right now is I got to build a relationship with each of the guys and see where they're at. I got to still learn their games more through individual workouts, through watching more video. But there's certainly some great pieces to work with, and when we add a few more pieces, I think the sky's the limit.
Have to mention the fact that you're not that far removed from getting into a new facility. You've gotten a chance to do that this last year at Pinnacle Bank Arena, and obviously an incredible facility. This is going to be a little bit smaller scale, but at the same time, those things, they certainly help programs.
It feels very similar. With at Nebraska, when Pinnacle Bank Arena went in, there was certainly an electricity to it. The fans really got behind it. There was a big-time energy to the arena on a day-to-day basis. We sold out the arena, 6 months prior to the season starting. So certainly when we saw the renderings when University of South Dakota made the announcement to move forward and breaking ground. What an exciting time. I think it's a building that the community of Vermilion, the state of South Dakota will really get behind. Certainly, we have to do our job as a coaching staff to get the right types of people in there and fill that up. But what a great facility. It's just a sign of the times and a sign of the commitment to excellence that the University of South Dakota is making.
All right. Well, again, Craig, welcome to South Dakota, and I look forward to working with you going forward.
Looking forward to it, Jay. Thanks a million.
All right. Thanks a lot. And we are going to talk a little bit more about that new facility and what it means to the University of South Dakota when we come back.